Hi, I'm Dave, founder of Halloween Around, and today I'm reviewing Mickey 17, the new dark sci-fi dystopian comedy adventure, slight body horror, whatever you want to call the genre movie, starring Robert Pattinson and of course from director Bong Joon-ho, most famous for Parasite. This was his follow-up from his best writing, best directing, and best picture Oscar-winning movie, and it's decent.
I don't like you.
But I'm you.
I'm not you. I'm gonna kill you.
Since I'm an aging out of touch millennial who doesn't understand Gen Z trends, here's a joke that would have played really well in 2010. Mickey 17 has everything you want, both if you hate Twilight or love it. If you hate it, you get to watch Robert Pattinson die a bunch of times, but if you love it, you get two Robert Pattinsons at the same time, if you know what I mean. So we have Mickey, played by Robert Pattinson, and he is an expendable. We're in this sort of dystopian future, which doesn't feel that far off from reality, where he dies over and over again and is just reprinted for the purpose of both being an expendable worker to do dangerous jobs, but also studying, oh, what are the effects of this radiation? What are the effects of this deadly virus? What are the effects of the. Let's do it to Mickey, see what it does, and then when he dies, we'll just reprint him. So right off the bat, it almost feels like a, again, very dark comedy version of an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie from about 25 years ago called The Sixth Day. And I love its sense of humor, and it is a really funny movie. You have Mark Ruffalo as this amalgamation of every corrupt billionaire slash preacher. I love that you could watch his performance and 10 different people would say that he was based on, well, 10 different people. Like there's a little bit of this person here, there's a little bit of this person in here, there's a little bit of this person. And I think that he's not really trying to be any one of them in particular. I think he's just trying to be that general vibe. You've got Toni Collette as his wife, who is kind of playing that role of like the devoted wife who's just as, into the propaganda that her husband is spewing. And you have this whole setup on this ice planet where they're trying to establish a colony. So on the surface, I enjoyed this movie. It's really really funny. It's really entertaining. Robert Pattinson's great, especially when he's playing different versions of himself and with the slight variations that you can always kind of tell when he's being Mickey 17 versus Mickey 18. I really like Steven Yeun. I've been a fan of his since Walking Dead. Um, Again, there's a lot going for the movie, and it has Bong Joon-ho's kind of signature social political satire and not so subtle scathing indictment of what he's addressing, but with a very dark sense of humor. Where Mickey 17 loses me a little bit is its tone is a little inconsistent because on the one hand, you've got this really interesting exploration about human printing or human cloning and the bioethical implications of that the movie kind of just barely scratches the surface of, even though it seems like in the beginning that's largely what it's going to be about, and it sort of never really picks up with it again. I felt like that's what we were in the beginning of the movie. That's kind of what we were going for, and it never does anything more than scratch the surface on that. What it does do is kind of go full over the top slapstick Looney Tunes esque comedy, especially towards the second half of the movie, and especially in the third act, that I just don't think meshes well with what it was doing closer to the beginning. Again, I love Mark Ruffalo in this, but I feel like he's almost in it too much. Because anytime he's in it, you're sort of taken out from it because he's so over the top, which again, that's fine if he's going to be a very small role and admit that he's a caricature but not sort of hijack the movie. And I feel like he very much hijacks, especially the third act, which this movie runs 2 hours and I think 17 minutes. You could probably shave 15, 20 minutes off that third act, speed up the pacing a little bit because it comes to a dead halt, lose some of the more over the top moments, and I think you would have a much kind of tighter and better flowing movie. So, I don't dislike Mickey 17. I like it. I didn't love it. And I think part of that is coming off of Parasite, expectations are admittedly very, very high. So I don't want to be unfair to the movie and sort of judge it by that. But I feel like it's a different enough movie, both in style, tone, plot, genre, and story from Parasite that I think I'm being as fair as I can because it feels like this half over here wants to be this witty, dark satire. But then this side over here wants to be this over the top slapstick outright parody. And both of these are fine choices, and the scenes with both of these work in a vacuum. There's a really, really funny, like fancy dinner scene with Mark Ruffalo, Tony Collette, and Robert Pattinson that if we take out this stuff over here, this movie works. We take out this stuff over here, this movie works. But take this movie and this movie, try to put them together, I don't know that it all works for me. All that being said, really solid visuals. It's extremely well shot. They're on this planet that basically feels like Hoth, and you have these like native creatures on there that I am certain have to be mostly CGI, but they look really, really good. It's good CGI, which again, just like Nolan, I don't hate CGI. I'm not against the idea of CGI. Yes, I love good practical effects. I just hate bad CGI, and it's really, really good here. So, from a technical standpoint, Bong Joon-ho is a very talented filmmaker, and it's very much on display here. So, I enjoyed Mickey 17 for what it is. It was a fun watch. It was entertaining, but I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's gonna have the lasting power that say Parasite did, or that like other movies like that do. And again, maybe you think it's unfair to, constantly compare it to Parasite, but the marketing sure is doing that. So I feel like it's kind of an open invitation, even though I like to think I reviewed it as fairly as I could based on its own merits. All that being said, it's a fun movie. Check it out. You'll laugh. You'll have a good time. And whether you love Robert Pattinson or hate him, there's something in it for both of you. So, like, share, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. If you don't, you may end up owing a bunch of money to a loan shark and having to sign up for the expendable program and die over and over and over and over and over and over again just to be reprinted. And as always, every day is Halloween.